So friends, let's start with today's lovely recipe. Now this recipe is a Goan traditional recipe and it's really easy and simple yet delicious. Now I've taken about 1 tablespoon of ghee or clarified butter in a pan, and I've taken about a medium sized onion, sliced it really fine. I'm going to toss it around in the ghee for some time, and then I'm going to add a pinch of sugar, and I'm going to caramelize this, or make it nice and dark, golden brown in color and nice and crispy. This is going to be a garnish for the pulao. So this should take you exactly 5 minutes on a low to medium flame. So once the onions have nicely caramelized and browned, you can just take them out and keep them aside. Now in the same ghee, I'm going to add about quarter cup of cashew nuts and kishmish or raisins. Fry them well and take them and keep them aside. Now in our whole spices, I'm going to use 2 cardamoms or elaichis, 6 cloves or lavang, and half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini. Then I'm going to be using 1 medium-sized onion, which I've chopped up, 1 cup of rice. This is basmati rice or long grain rice. Just wash it well and soak it in some water for 15 minutes. 2 cups of coconut milk, the thick coconut milk, and just half a teaspoon of saffron or haldi powder. That's all we require. So I've heated about a tablespoon of ghee in a pan. I'm going to add my whole spices. I'm going to let the spices fry well so that it flavors the ghee. Then I'm going to add my chopped up onion, and I'm going to fry the onion till it turns a little translucent. Next, I'm going to drain the water from the rice, and I'm going to add that to the onions and the spices. Now fry the rice for about 2 minutes in this lovely ghee. This will be on a low to medium flame. So just fry the rice well. Now we're going to add the haldi powder. Now this is if you want a yellow color. If you want to keep the white color for the pulao, then just skip this step of adding the turmeric or the haldi powder. So just fry it well, because that will give you, you won't get a mushy pulao. You'll get a nice, where the grains are nicely separated, a nice and lovely light pulao. Now I'm going to flavor it with some salt to taste and about a pinch of sugar. Again, mix everything nicely. And now I'm going to add the thick coconut milk. So this is double the quantity of the rice. So if you're using 1 cup of rice, you use 2 cups of thick coconut milk. Now mix everything well. After that, just put your flame on high and let this mixture start to bubble or start to boil vigorously on a high flame. Do not stir it at all. Let it come to a nice boil. It should take you about half a minute or so for the liquid to start boiling. This is on a high flame. And you will see that everything starts to bubble and come towards the center. So let the entire liquid start boiling vigorously on a high flame. And when that happens, just give it 1 stir, and then after that, lower the flame to to low, and then just cover it and cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes, just checking in between. Now just give it 1 light stir on a low flame again after about 5 minutes, and again cover and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. Just keep doing this, once or twice, very gently. And now I've put the flame off, and you can see that the rice is nice and ready. So now you can transfer this to your serving bowl and then just garnish it with the onions. Just crush up the onions a bit because now they've cooled down, so you can crush them up. And then the lovely kishmish and cashew nuts. So here our rose com coco or coconut pulao, a lovely Goan traditional recipe, is all ready. I hope you like this recipe, guys. These are all the ingredients that we require. So let's go through each of them. Here is 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of peppercorns, 1 tablespoon of coriander seeds or dhania seeds, half a tablespoon of cumin seeds or jeera, 5 pods of elaichi or cardamom, half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini, 6 cloves or lavang, 1 star anise, 1 mace or javitri, 1 tablespoon of poppy seeds or khaskhas, 1/4 teaspoon or 1/4 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds or methi seeds, 1 teaspoon of shaha jeera or black cumin seeds, 1 tablespoon of fennel seeds or saunf, 2 bay leaves or tej patta, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg powder or zaifar. You can just grate it on a small grater. 6 cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, and about 6 red chilies. You can even use the Goan red chilies. A 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric or haldi powder, half a teaspoon of garam masala, and half a teaspoon of red chili powder. Or you can increase it according to your taste. So these are all the spices that we require. You can even roast them and grind them and keep them aside the day before you plan to make it. Then we require 1 medium onion sliced. We also require 1 small onion diced, 2 light green chilies slit, 1 cup of fresh coconut grated. We also require half a cup of coconut milk and a lime-sized bowl of tamarind soaked in some hot water. And I'm going to be using about 350 grams of chicken. You can make this with beef, with mutton. And like I said, half a cup of coconut milk. So now let's begin with making this amazing shakuti. So in a pan, I've just heated up the pan a bit and I'm going to roast all my dry spices in it. That is the peppercorns, the javitri, the star anise, the poppy seeds, the cardamom, cinnamon, bay leaves. So we're going to roast this on a low to medium flame. And we're going to roast this for just about 5 minutes. And you will get a lovely aroma of these dry spices. Keep stirring, don't leave them unattended. And then once they have cooled to room temperature, grind them to a very, very fine powder. Now in the same pan, I'm going to add just half a teaspoon of oil and I'm going to fry the ginger, the garlic and the dried red chilies. We're also going to add the medium-sized onion which we've just sliced. So fry all of this well in a little bit of oil till the onions turn to a lovely golden brown color. Now the frying of all these spices and roasting of the spices is a very key element in getting the right flavor for this chapati. So fry it well. Now this is the fine powder. You have to make it into a very fine powder. Now, like I said, you can also use the Goan chilies that you get. Now I've transferred the fine powder to a bowl. Now once this onion, ginger, garlic and red chilies also come to room temperature, we're going to grind it to a very fine paste. Now I'm going to add another half teaspoon of oil and I'm going to fry the freshly grated coconut. So we're going to fry this till the coconut is nice and golden brown in color. Now I had soaked some tamarind in some hot water for about 5 to 10 minutes. And now we're just going to extract all the juice from the tamarind by just squeezing the tamarind this way. We're going to continue roasting or frying rather our freshly grated coconut. And I'm going to add this ground spice powder to this onion, red chili, ginger, garlic paste and again grind all of them together to a very, very smooth paste. Now I also have some coconut milk and that is the paste and that is the reserve water. That is once you take out the masala or the paste, you can just put some water in the mixer pot and wash it off. That is our reserve water. Now once our coconut has nicely cooled down to room temperature, we're going to grind it to a fine paste by adding very little water. So this is our paste. And now we're going to mix all three of them. That is, the coconut that we've ground to our other ground space. That is our Chapati masala ready. Now in a pan, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil and fry the small onion, which I've sliced. So like I said, that was the Chapati masala. So you can prepare it ahead of time and store it in your refrigerator and make this Chapati whenever you feel like. So this is I'm adding the slit green chilies. I'm also going to be adding this mixture of garam masala, haldi powder and red chili powder. And now we're going to add our Chapati masala. Now the most important thing is frying this masala very well, because we really want this flavor to, the real flavor of this masala to come out. So you have to fry this on a low to medium flame for at least 5 minutes. That's very key. So after frying this well, now we're going to add our chicken. And I'm going to fry the chicken in this masala also for at least another 5 minutes. So you come to know that the chicken is, nice and fried, because first it's a pink color. And as you keep frying it with the masala, you'll see that it changes to a white. And this is also very key to this recipe, that is when you fry the chicken well with the masala, it really, gets into the chicken and you can really taste the flavor of the masala. Now, after frying it well, I'm adding the reserve water. You can add, water as per your choice if you wanted a thinner gravy or a thicker gravy. Now I'm just adding some salt to taste and a little bit of sugar, a pinch of sugar. Mix everything together and I'm going to cover and simmer this for at least 5 to 10 minutes. So we want to simmer this well so it gets cooked well. Now after simmering it for about 5 to 10 minutes, you can see the lovely color of this masala and everything, and the entire home just is filled with this aroma of charcuterie. So now I'm just going to be adding this coconut milk. Now I will leave the instructions of how I extracted this coconut milk in my description box below. Now there are two ways. One is that you take half a cup of grated coconut, fresh coconut, you grind it in your mixer, you keep adding a little bit of lukewarm water, and you start extracting the juice by squeezing out the juice. Now adding the tamarind juice to this to the curry. So like I said, you can extract that way. And another shortcut method is, okay, I'm adding a little chopped coriander and mixing it in well. The other shortcut method is you get this coconut milk powder, ready-made powder. So you just take some hot water, you add about 4-5 tablespoons of this coconut milk powder into it. You just stir it all together and your coconut milk is ready. So if you don't have the time to make it, the coconut milk, you can just use the shortcut method. And that's it, friends. After simmering it for another 5 to 7 minutes, our delicious Goan Chapati is all ready. This is my mom's recipe, and my mom used to make it I think on Sundays. And the best part about this chapati is it tastes amazing the next day or even a day after. And I personally love to have it with some bruin pao. I don't know how many of you like to have, meat curries the next morning for breakfast with bruin pao. But I love doing that. You just dip, your bruin pao, or as it's called, kadak pao. You dip it into this lovely curry and you have it. It's just a different taste altogether. The chicken keema. You have to watch the video till the end, and it's a very unique recipe. It's my own recipe. So this is the chicken keema that is ready. Now here I've taken 2 medium-sized potatoes which I've boiled and peeled. Now one tip I'd like to give you over here is boil the potatoes in advance. Refrigerate them for a few hours, overnight preferably, because it's easier to work with the cold potatoes. Now I'm adding a pinch of salt to this, and I'm going to mash it up till I get a nice smooth consistency. Now we're just going to take some lime-sized balls, flatten them up, fill about half a teaspoon of the chicken keema inside, seal it up well, and keep it aside. So like I said, it's better to work with cold potatoes rather than hot potatoes. First of all, it's very difficult to handle the potatoes, and secondly, they are a little on the soggier side. So one tip is to refrigerate them and then try and make the potato chops. Now, after making all the potato chops, you can also refrigerate this and, just fry them whenever you want to. They stay in the refrigerator for about a day or two. So now here what I've done is I've kept some breadcrumbs ready, and I've beaten up 1 egg with a pinch of salt. I have a tablespoon of oil heating up in a frying pan. So first I'm just going to dip the potato chop into 1 beaten egg and then coat them well with the breadcrumbs. And once your oil is nice and ready, you just shallow fry them on both sides till they're golden brown in color. And fry them on a low to medium heat. And once they are golden brown on one side, you can just flip them over and fry them on the other side too. And now, following this, I'm going to show you all how I make my special chicken keema. So keep watching. here I have about 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once the oil gets a little hot on a low to medium flame, we are going to add about 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Now I've used about 1 inch of ginger and about 5 cloves of garlic, and I've minced it really fine. Now we're going to fry this well till the rawness of the ginger and the garlic goes away. Once that is done, we're going to add 1 medium-sized onion which I've chopped fine. We're going to fry all of this together. Now we're going to add the chicken mince, which I have washed once in a colander, a very fine whole colander. And now we're going to just fry this for about a minute or so till the onion and the ginger garlic gets mixed with it well. And now I'm going to add all powder spices, most of which are made at home. Now this is a ready-made meat masala which is easily available. So I've used about 2 tablespoons or 1 small packet. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. This is just for the color. It doesn't add any spiciness. 1 teaspoon of cumin powder and 2 teaspoons of coriander powder. My cumin powder, coriander powder and pepper powder are all homemade. And I've also added 1 teaspoon of pepper powder. I am going to be coming up with a video on how I make all these powder masalas at home. Now mix in all of these powders well with the mince. And now I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of garam masala. This garam masala is again homemade. I have a recipe uploaded on my channel. I'm also adding some Frankie masala. Now this is optional. If you get Frankie masala easily, then add it. And I also add half a teaspoon of crushed kasuri methi. So I'll add some salt to taste. I will leave a link of how I make garam masala at home in the description box as well as the comments box. So don't forget to go and check it out. And now we're going to fry this on a medium to high flame for about a minute or so, seeing that everything is mixed up well. And then we're going to cover and cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes. And your chicken keema is all ready. So I hope you like today's recipes and I hope you give them a try and let me know how you like them in the comments. So friends, let's see today's beautiful recipe of Russian salad. Now here I've taken about 2 medium-sized potatoes, washed them well, peeled them, and I'm going to chop them up into these small, even-sized cubes. Now I've kept some water at the side because I'm going to chop these potatoes into small cubes and then I'm going to put them in the water so that they don't discolor. So we want them into this even-sized small cubes. Next we're going to cube up the pineapple. So just remove the center and then cube the remaining pineapple. You're not going to use the center. So I've used about 3 large slices of pineapple. So basically you require at least 3/4 of a bowl of all of the ingredients. Next I'm going to take 2 carrots. Now I love using these orange carrots, but even if you get the red carrots, it's fine. Now just cut them up. Now I would like to remove the center, the center part, and then we're going to chop them up into small cubes. We don't want very small cubes, just about this size. Now I've soaked about 8 to 10 French beans in some water to which I've added a little salt for 10 minutes, washed them, dried them well, and then remove the edges. You need to remove the edges, otherwise you'll get these stringy kind of, consistency. And again, chop the French beans. Now you can prep all of this and keep everything ready, and when you want to make your salad, you just go ahead. Now I've taken half an apple and I've removed the core and I've removed the peel also. Don't throw away the peel. You can eat the peel. It's, very rich in vitamins. But for the salad, I have removed the peel. Now this apple adds real crunch to this salad. Now you can go with the entire apple also. So all our ingredients are ready. Now we need to cook the potatoes. So I've just taken some water, about 4 to 5 cups of water. Let it heat a bit. And I'm going to add the potatoes. Then I'm going to bring the potatoes to a gentle boil. checking in between. Now, we don't want overcooked potatoes. We don't want it to be of the boiled potatoes consistency. We want them to be firm, yet they should be cooked. So just take them out in the middle and just check them with your knife. The knife should go, completely through the potato, or you can even, taste the potato and see whether it's cooked. We don't want it mushy, but we want it to be cooked. So keep checking. It should take about 5 minutes, and then drain the potatoes out and put them in a bowl. Now to the same boiling water, we're going to add the chopped up carrots. Now we don't want to overcook the carrots, so just for a minute, we're going to let them heat in this water. And again, we're going to drain the carrots and put them in a bowl. We're going to do the same thing with our French beans also. Just, kind of cook them just for a minute, not even a minute. Like the minute it hits the water, just for some time, let it boil and then take it out, because we don't want them mushy, but we want them to be firm, yet they should be cooked. So when you eat them in the salad, you don't find them extra crunchy, but just the right texture. Now you can increase the amount of the veggies also. You can add more carrots, you can add more French beans, you can even add green peas if you like. So now we are ready with all our ingredients. So now we can start making our lovely Russian salad. So I've taken a large salad mixing bowl. I'm going to add the potatoes. I'm going to add the French beans. Now try not to get any of the water of the vegetables into the salad. Then I'm going to add my carrots. I'm going to add my chopped up apples, my pineapples, and I'm going to mix all of this really well together. Doesn't it look lovely already with all the lovely colorful veggies and fruits? Now I'm going to season it with some pepper powder. So I'm going with half a teaspoon, but you can add to taste. Then I'm going to add some salt. Mix everything well together so that the salt and the pepper nicely coat all the veggies and fruits. Give it a taste, guys, because then you come to know if you want to add more salt, if you want to add more pepper. And then I'm going to go with 1 cup of mayo, but then I really added a little bit more later, about half a cup more. So you add the mayo also according to your, how much mayo you want in your Russian salad. Now those who want to keep it completely veg can go for the eggless mayo. Otherwise you can go for the classic mayo. And just mix everything, and don't forget to chill it before serving it, because it should be had nice and chilled. And this is a lovely salad. Do try it out, friends. Cut off the tips and again soak them in some water for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now all the other ingredients that we need are as follows. We require about 1 inch of ginger, which I've just chopped up into smaller pieces, 15 cloves of garlic, 15 peppercorns, 1 tablespoon of cumin seeds or jeera, about 6 cloves or lavang, 1 inch of cinnamon or dalchini, half a teaspoon of rye or mustard seeds or mori, half a teaspoon of haldi or turmeric powder, about 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and some salt to taste. And these are the soaked red chilies. So now we're going to grind all of these ingredients in our mixer. We're not going to add any water at all. And we are going to grind it to a very, very fine paste. You can transfer the paste to a bowl and reserve the water for using later. Now we're just going to put this paste onto 400 grams of meat. Now I am using chicken. You can use mutton or you can use pork, and you can keep this aside for 12 hours. It has to be marinated for at least 12 hours. Now after 12 hours, we're going to heat about 4 tablespoons of oil in a pan, and I'm going to fry 4 medium-sized onions till they're nice and golden brown in color. Now I'm going to add the marinated meat along with all of this lovely masala. We're going to fry this extremely well. I'm just going to add 1 slit light green chili, and now I'm going to add the reserve water that we had set aside yesterday or 12 hours before, and we're going to mix everything together. Now you can give this a little taste just to see if you want to adjust the salt or the vinegar. And then I'm going to add about 1.5 cup of hot water, and then we're going to let this simmer for at least 15 to 20 minutes, and there our vindaloo is all ready. I like to have it with some soft pao or some Goan rice.